Hello guys, welcome to another video of VIP Chess. Today I'll be teaching you guys how to checkmate with two bishops in 6 to 7 easy steps. So the two bishop checkmate is extremely important to learn as the two bishop checkmate is extremely important to learn as in many cases you will beat two minor pieces up and you don't have anything else. Lots of people forgot how to do this and ended up drawing with their opponent when they were in a clearly won position. Right now it's made in about 21 moves. I will give you a few seconds to look over the position first before I'll teach you how to checkmate with two bishops and a king. So our first step is to control these central squares, which could have been a bit of a hint: e4, d4, e5, and d5, using bishops and control a1 to h8 and h1 to a8 diagonal. So basically these diagonals, and force the king into either one of the corners. You can't checkmate the king in the center of the board, so you need to force him into one of the corners to defeat him. So we can begin with something like bishop g2 check, which now, since our bishop covers this diagonal and this bishop covers this diagonal, and these are the only four squares he can go to. And if he comes to these squares, he will only be checkmated quicker because he's already in our territory and the king is already present. So of course the king would want to go to something like e5. And now we simply bring in our other bishop, and this bishop now controls this diagonal, and this bishop now controls this diagonal, king d6, and now we achieved our first step, controlling the center and controlling the long diagonals. Our second step is to place the bishops in the center of the board because that's where they're the most efficient. The center of the board is e4 or d4 or d5 and d5 and e5. But of course our bishops can't get to e5 or d5 right now because of the king, so you have to settle with e4 and d4. And one thing to note is that you can't checkmate with just one bishop. So if you lose either of the bishops in the process, you will lose the game. So you have to be careful not to get forked. Like let's say we move the bishop to e5, and he moved his king to c5. Then we moved our then we played something like king to c3, and then the king was able to attack both bishops. He can't right now, but I can't find a position. He will, in a few positions he can. Then you will lose the bishop and the position will be drawn. So of course you want to keep the bishops intact because now they protect themselves with this control. If they're not intact, then they have the ability to get attacked by the king. So after king d6, we have control, brought our bishops to the center, and now it's time for the third step, which is relocating our king. The king is since the king is on d1, we will relocate him to c5 and force the black king into the h corner. If it was on the if it was on the king side of the board, we would force him to f4 and we would take the king to f5 and force the king into the light side corner. But it's just all about time efficiency. So after king c2, we have king e6, king c3, king d5, the king wants to stay in the center. If he doesn't, then you just keep forcing him back with your bishops. Yeah, and king c4, king e6, and now we have achieved our goal. Now the king will only have no choice but to get back into this corner. But we have to be careful when we're forcing him back. So after something like king f7, we want to simply squeeze our bishops onto e5 and f5, keep forcing the king back, which is a huge part of this. Now he controls a lot of area. He only has 4 squares to go, and we have to be extremely careful. And after something like king f7, he still wants to stay in the center. We want to squeeze more space from his illegal moves and just keep forcing him back. Now we just keep relocating bishops. Now he only has 2 legal moves. Now for step 6, for our last step of the day, we just simply have to maneuver our king to h6 again to make him stay in the corner and checkmate him. So he just keeps maneuvering back, and we take our king to h6. And now afterwards, now the reason the king is on h6 now is because he controls these 2 squares. This gives us the liberty now to move our bishop to e6, e7, and control this f8 square, forcing the king back into the corner. Now we move this bishop back, getting ready to as a waiting move. And this waiting move is extremely important. You could actually move him anywhere. It doesn't really matter. With this, just relocates the bishop right now, because if we just move the bishop immediately to f7, this would be a draw. So we can't move the bishop to f7, so we just have to move this bishop along this diagonal. And once we do, let's say we go to e4, then this king will be forced to come back to g5. Now we check him and force him back into this corner, and now I'll give you 2 seconds to find the mating move. Congratulations for you who were able to do it. The mating move is just bishop f7, and this is checkmate. The bishop controls all this area, and the king stops the enemy king from going to h7. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel so I can keep making more videos like this. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.